This is the Unholy Files. Just relax and plug in your headphones. Let's begin.
Tonight's story comes from a man named Ethan. He's a journalist, one who spent years uncovering the strange and unexplained. But this is different. This story is personal. Ethan refused to share more details about himself, but what he did share, it's something he can never forget. And after hearing it, neither will you. Let's begin. My name is Ethan, and I've been a journalist for 7 years. I cover strange stories. The stories whispered in hushed tones, the legends no one dares to believe. The story which I'm going to tell you today happened with me years ago, but I remember each detail like it was just yesterday. Even as I type this, my hands are shaking and my skin is crawling with goosebumps. Because what I'm about to tell you, it still haunts me. It started as a side story, a viral post on Reddit. There's something in our town, it's killing our cattle. At first, it seemed like nothing, but then the details started matching with a few local reports. Strange howls, unnatural sightings, people vanishing without a trace. My editor barely glanced at it, but I needed a break from crime reports. So I packed up my bags and drove out to Tohajiilee, a small reservation town west of Albuquerque. I didn't believe in monsters, but I'd soon learn that some things don't care whether you believe in them or not. The town wasn't welcoming. A dusty one-road place, no motels, just a gas station and a few houses. The locals eyed me like I didn't belong. At the gas station, I met John Begay, an old Navajo man with deep lines on his face, a man etched with the desert secrets. He saw my notebook and recorder, then shook his head like I was already walking a grave.
You don't want to write on it, son.
I'm just looking for some truth, sir.
The truth is, we don't talk about it, and neither should you. Just go home.
I pressed him, but he only gave me one last warning.
Don't be outside after dark. If you hear someone call your name, don't answer.
I chalked it up to superstition. I tried to speak with few locals, but they just don't want to talk about it. Not a single one. They didn't just seem afraid. They looked haunted. That night, I pitched my tent a few miles outside town, near an abandoned ranch where a few strange sightings had been reported. The night was still, too still. Even the crickets were silent. At around 1 a.m., I woke up. Something was outside my tent. Slow footsteps, a low, raspy breathing sound that I felt like it was trying to peek in my tent. The tent moved, not violently, just moved. A foot to the left. A shiver crawled up my spine. I knew exactly where I had set it up. The ground beneath felt uneven now. Then, silence. I held my breath. I hadn't heard the footsteps leave, but I couldn't hear them anymore either. Finally, heart pounding, I grabbed my flashlight and unzipped the tent. I stepped out. The desert stretched out in all directions, empty, flashlight beam cutting through the suffocating darkness. But the sand near my tent had footprints, bare human feet, leading in circles, like a predator marking its territory. I heard it then, a voice, low, croaking.
Eat her.
That moment ice flooded my veins. It came from the opposite side of the tent, exactly where I had just been standing. I spun around, but there was nothing there, just empty night. What moved my tent? What whispered my name in the dead of night? I packed up and left before sunrise. As I drove back toward town, something darted across the road, too thin, its legs unnaturally long, and its eyes? They reflected the light like human pupils. For a fleeting moment, I almost convinced myself it was an animal. Then, it stood up. It ran on two legs. Its arms hung low, fingers too long, too sharp, and its skin, pale, hairless, stretched too tight over its bones. It stopped in the middle of the road, head tilted like it was listening. I slammed on the gas, checked my rearview mirror. It was gone. Back in town. I found John Begay again. This time, he didn't try to send me away. He just sighed.
You saw it, didn't you?
So what? Someone screwing with me? Some sick joke? He shook his head.
It's not a joke, son. I warned you.
Warned me about what?
You let it see you. Now it knows your face.
I checked into a cheap roadside motel that night, planning to leave in the morning. But in the middle of the night, I woke up to a sound at my door. 3 soft knocks. My breath caught in my throat. My hand shook as I reached for my phone to check the time. It was almost 3 a.m. Then,
Return.
I froze because the voice on the other side was mine. My stomach dropped. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. I curled under the blanket and stared at the door until sunrise. The next morning, I left without looking back. I never wrote the article. I never told anyone what happened. Some stories aren't meant to be told. I moved back to the city, far away from that desert. But it didn't matter. It is still haunting me. Sometimes, I wake up to a sound outside my window, a soft scratching. One night, while editing an article, I caught movement in my apartment reflection. A shadow, too tall, too thin, standing by my bookshelf. But when I turned, nothing was there. A week later, my doorbell rang at exactly 3 a.m. When I checked the peephole, the hallway was empty. I still hear my voice saying my name.